What's up, guys? Welcome to our very first episode of Chasing Ghosts. Guys, I'm excited about this new series that we're going to be doing. This is going to be a great series to talk about what it is that we do to break down these lakes, break down these tournaments. That's going to be our main focus, and getting you club guys just some things to think about, how we go about our plan, how we go about executing that plan on tournament day. But definitely want to say a shout out to our partners from this year, guys. We've got our 2021 partners that have come on board, helped us out this year. And you can see those up here in the corner. I want to say a shout out to our upcoming partner for our next event on Boone, which is going to be Uncle Ray's. They're going to be sponsoring our October event, so we're super excited about that. But let's talk about why chasing ghosts, okay? Chasing ghosts, we've all heard somebody say it. Man, I was on them yesterday. I got to my spot today, and they're just gone. Guys, these fish, they move, they change. It's like chasing ghosts out there. So that's going to be our focus as we try to track down these wonderful and crazy and just, I don't know, they drive us nuts all the time. These green fish and these brown fish, these smallmouth and largemouth. So guys, we're going to break this down. This first episode, we're going to be talking about fall transition, and we're going to be looking at a fall transition on Douglas Lake. Dad and I were fishing the Tennessee Team Trail on Douglas on September 11th. We got a chance to go and practice on Monday, the Labor Day right before that. And I know that's a pretty big gap to be practicing that far out. But that's all we could make work. And again, we're talking to guys here that you're weekend warriors. You're not getting tons of time on the water. You're not getting 2-3 days leading up to the event. You may have to make it fit in wherever you can. You may be even practicing the weekend before. But we're going to break that down, guys. And we're going to be talking about what we did in practice and how things changed up and how we had to go about executing in the tournament. So let's go ahead, check out this practice reel. This is from Douglas Lake on the Monday leading up to the event on that Labor Day. Check it out. I didn't see him coming. He bumped it. Hit it, and then all of a sudden, I'm in brown. Look at the seat. Look at that. Just a little bit further. I'm just going to put it back in. Oh, God, that's yeah. You went all the way back over that log. No wonder we couldn't resist. That's it, son. right, guys, so you see there from that practice reel that we started out around swans. We had located a lot of bait on the Panoptics and stuff around those bluff ends and down those bluffs. So we were really looking at getting a topwater bite going and looking for something that we could make work early, put some keepers in the boat, settle us down. Nothing really materialized. There was a little bit of action going on, but these fish they wouldn't commit to much. You saw they got busted there on the chatterbait a couple times. That fish then ate that popper. But after that point, we started bouncing up the lake and we started moving up towards the river. And going into these tournaments, guys, do your research. Understand kind of the patterns of the time of year. And I looked back to see on the Bassmaster Opens that had been fished this time of year that those tournaments were mostly won up in the river. And typically this time of year, you can't get up as far as we eventually did in that practice day. Usually the lake's way down. You've got to be in a jet boat or a tunnel hole boat. But this year the lake had risen real quick. They got a lot of rain and they were starting to bring it back down slowly, but you could still get way up there. So we started bouncing our way up, and as we were going up, we weren't getting any bites. It was dead. We just weren't seeing much life. So I kept going, and finally just made a pretty good long run all the way up there to the river to where we had some flow. We had some current going to find us some active fish, and as well hopefully make those fish much easier to target since they were going to be in those current breaks and in those eddies. So we got up there. Water temperature had been probably about 8 degrees warmer down the lake where we were around Swan. So we found cooler water up there, and we got into that current, and we started getting some bites on a flipping jig. The only worry, as I went through the entire week, I was watching that TVA app, seeing how much are they going to drop this water, because I knew we were only in about 5 or 6 feet. And they had dropped it, by the time we got to Saturday, they had dropped it about 3 feet. So I knew we would have a little bit of water heading up there. And as we were heading down to the lake, you're making your plan, you're thinking about what you're going to do. We had drawn boat 85 out of 88 for this Tennessee Team Trail event. So really the plan was not to make that run up there immediately. I was going to knock around a few places and work our way up there. And the other thing to look at is always look at those peak bite windows. I've got the hunting and fishing app to look at when those peak windows for activity are, and it was showing around 12 to 1 o'clock or 12:30 to 2 o'clock. So I really wanted to make sure I was in my prime areas during that time. So I wasn't in a mad rush to get up there, being a late boat draw. And as you're going to see in this reel from the actual tournament day, we've already fished several areas down the lake. We've hopped around. We actually started out right there at the bluff at Dandridge at the boat ramp. Since we were basically the last boat, fished there a little bit, see if we could pick off a couple. We jumped on up to Swans and tried a couple of those areas where we had found some top water action. Nothing going on. So the first place you're going to see us fishing here is between that stretch between Taylor's Bend and the bridge right there. And we're gonna put together a little something here, and I'll talk about it in a little bit. But check out this reel from actual tournament day, and this is the footage of our keepers that we caught. Boat. Look at the water. No, I'll put it back on the bank. Yeah.
Nope. Oh, make a short striker.
So, guys, you see there that a lot of these catches, as you can see from the time of day, came during that bite window. But as we were running up from Taylor's Bend up towards that bridge, I'm still thinking kind of what are we going to do? What's kind of putting this plan together as we go, just fish in the moment. And as I look over in all those short pockets going up through past Taylor's Bend, 2 birds, 3 birds, 2 heron, 3 heron. And all of a sudden I'm like, all right, those places are loaded up with bait. I hang a hard left, make a little bit of a U-turn to go back down and come up, hitting some of those pockets. Guys, it's all about bait this time of year with the fall transition. Wherever that bait's at, those fish are nearby. And as we started to really run that pattern, if we saw some birds setting up and where you saw us catching that fish in some of those scenes around isolated standing timber and stuff, again, we had seen birds in that area. We knew there was bait in that area. And these fish, they're suspending around these trees. The very last one I caught there came out of a tree that was sitting over towards the main channel, and she was just suspending, and that chatterbait was the deal, okay? Again, basically all of these fish were caught on a white jackhammer. Dad did catch one on there on a chartreuse and white, but the big thing, guys, is that bait was kind of suspended. Focusing on those suspended fish, they're hanging out around those trees. It's sunny, they're getting some shade, but as bait balls come by, they're able to ambush, and that was our biggest key. So paying attention to what's going on, even on the shoreline. Those birds are telling me that there's bait in the area. I know that those fish are keying in on bait as we're getting into this fall, and then focusing in on that timber. They need some cover to ambush. And you see there in one of those reels, one of those scenes that I turn and I flip over into the shade. Again, that sun was getting up. Those fish were getting tighter to that cover. But again, we were able to get that reaction strike. I prefer to power fish. I hate to slow down. It's hard for me to slow down. Probably should more than I do. But once we started getting bit on that chatterbait, we started running that pattern. So guys, pay attention to what's going on. Now, the thing is, I couldn't get back to where we were in practice, but I still was up in the river. I still had confidence in that area because what we had seen. Like I said, up there in the river, the water had dropped just too much. Those eddies and those channel breaks where they were had changed because the water was down so far. Plus, I just couldn't get quite all the way up to where we had gotten some of those bites on the black and blue jig. So listening and paying attention to what the fish are doing and starting to put that together. And remember, this time of year, you may have to grind. We didn't put that 5th one in the box until after 1 o'clock, and then luckily we were able to cull out our smallest one. We finished this event up with, I think, 9:26, and finished ourselves in 22nd place. So we got some good points to finish out the year. It was a good way to end the year. It's been a little bit up and down. But guys, I hope you enjoy this series that we're going to be doing, breaking down just the thought process, helping you all think more about maybe what your plan is going out on the water each day. And again, we're out here, we're chasing these ghosts, we're trying to figure out what they're doing, where they've gone, what they're after, what they'll bite. And guys, it's always a challenge, and that's the funnest thing about fishing. Those of you that are members of the Tennessee Christian Bass Anglers, again, I hope this helps you all. I hope you all learn a little bit from this. Guys, if you're watching this and you've never heard of the Tennessee Christian Bass Anglers, we're a club in Northeast Tennessee. We're all about sharing the gospel of Christ and the good news and helping our brothers and sisters in Christ grow as Christians, and then also helping people learn more about fishing and become better anglers, guys. That's the focus. Again, using our passion for bass fishing to edify and evangelize. And guys, we enjoy fishing. We enjoy sharing and teaching others. So I hope you all like it. Enjoy these episodes. Next time we're coming to you, heading to Chickamauga for a little bit of frog fishing and maybe some punching on fall break. That's going to be episode 2 of our Chasing Ghosts. See how I break down. We're driving down, fishing for the day, driving back. So you're going to see how we do to try to change things up throughout the day, figure out what those fish are doing. But guys, again, hope y'all enjoy. Thank you to all our partners. See you on the second episode.